Holding on to the past impacts our present, and letting go of it allows the present. A lot of time is lost within the moments we spend analyzing it. You know, if we allow ourselves to prescribe an identity to ourselves, then ultimately we're limiting, who we could be. Because I feel like any type of dictation we make in regards to how we are is often based off the opinions of others and the way in which we interact with our community, society, and whatnot. I think that realizing part of who we are is the growth, is the change that is consistently occurring, allows us to become comfortable with who we are and truly practice like what I see to be as a form of self-love. Because I feel like people promote an idea of like self-love and like being comfortable with who you are, while at the same time like putting themselves in a box in terms of who they think themselves to be. And the only reason they can put connotation on it, can call it good or bad, is because it's in reference to maybe another person or ideal, and it's a stuck. He who thinks the journey is over is the one that's truly lost. And a lot of people think they found the answer, they found the end, and that's when that stuff starts to set in. People, as I see it, are critical and passive at the same time. More passive to others and more critical of the self. And I don't know. I think that there is no point in thinking you found out exactly who you are. We often become limited by those kinds of things, and we're placing boundaries to our own expression and understanding of the world around us. I think people like to acknowledge themselves as the same person throughout their entire life, but if we really look back and really take the time to think about it, a lot of us have changed in ways we couldn't even have thought of in the past. And in that change, we're somewhat beyond like our present moment. For love of the past self is love of a memory, like an idea. If we're ever to attain any type of real self-love, then it has to be love of now, the present moment, rather than things we've done in the past. Our future selves definitely need our assistance. And I keep stressing how I think we should start treating ourselves as people we want to help. Like someone who's constantly with us on this journey, and the only person is going to be ourselves. Sometimes we have to look outside ourselves to look within. Obtaining that like third person perspective on the self in order to somewhat better analyze the situation. I feel like when we put ourselves in that first person view, we lose everything around us. Those who squint their eyes and search have obscure vision. Preoccupied with a single leaf, you miss a tree. Preoccupied with a single tree, you miss the forest. And a lot of us are sort of narrowing our vision in this one-sidedness, and that's causing us to become victim and victim again to circumstances that we can definitely be a top of. We have to start really treating ourselves like someone we're trying to help, like a friend. And how can you be a friend to yourself if you're allowing yourself to do things that prove not to benefit you in the future? I think it's one thing to know that you should be like treating yourself better, and it's another thing to actually apply that thing. It's hard to always treat yourself like a friend, and because you're the person you have the ability to change, the ability to actually help cultivate on. But it's something we need to consciously do because we're the only people who can be there for us. In going with the flow, I think that, you know, a lot of people choose to restrict themselves in terms of their own expression because, you know, I think it's the ego. And I can't even say like I'm exempt from that because I'm definitely not, but I feel like as people we tend to place ourselves in actions and thoughts into certain categories and become overly analytical of the world around us rather than, observant of the world around us. We're trying to see rather than like just looking.